Oh, kidding me? He's gonna come back. Oh yeah, here he comes. I got him. It's not quite what we're after, but it's a start. Nice crappie. Look at that guy. Perfect way to start it off. Today is all about pan fishing in the dead of winter. I mean, this is dog days. This is the time when nothing wants to bite. Walleyes aren't going, northerns are even hard to catch. Oftentimes when it gets to this really tough time of year, I'll go out and start fishing for panfish. They're a little easier to catch this time of year, but they can still be a pain. So you gotta be precise on your spots and use the right jigs and equipment to get these fish to bite. Another one starting to come in. Oh yeah. I got him. He ain't a big one, but I think it's nice sunny. Oh yeah. Big old bluegill. That's what we want. That is a big bull right there. Get him back. Try to get down there before that school comes back. These panfish in the winter, just like we've kind of been looking at all winter long here, they're over soft bottom areas. And when you get them to come in like that, if you can find them in those soft bottom areas, you really got to stick on them because those schools come through fast. So they come in, they'll bite and catch a couple, and they're gone again. So on cold days when you got the fish house up, you really got to be quick. Even having a buddy just fit and you two fish the same hole can really up your catches for that day. We got a little school now. Come on. Right out of his mouth. That's what we want. There he comes again. They're pretty light biters. So you really got to watch your rod tip, watch your line. Those spring bobbers like we showed on the last sunfish show can really come in handy for these sunfish. They're such light biters. I can't hook them. You can see I got a whole school right here and I'm staying just above them. Just trying to, there they're coming up. I know what I'm going to have to do. Switching over to a smaller jig, lighter line than my slip bobber, my spring bobber. It takes a little bit longer to get down there, so I'm hoping I can get there before they leave. They're already coming up to it. There, I got him. Too bad. Oh, crappie. You get these guys mixed in there. Another nice crappie. That guy. Perfect size to take home and eat. But the whole point of this system is to be fast. When you get the school underneath you, just get down there. Artificial bait can be very useful in this because it can keep your bait in the water longer. But you got to stay down there. And like I was saying with a buddy, if you guys fish the same hole, when somebody pulls a fish out, you drop your line down when he gets that fish out. And vice versa. When you catch one, he pops his line down. And that's a great way to just keep the school in underneath you. They move fast. They've been beat up on now for a while. They don't hang around too much. So you got to be moving on them. There's a good one right there. That's a nice crappie. That's a real nice crappie right there. It's all of 13 inches. And the big ticket is small too this time of year. Minnows will still work for some crappies and that, but you're not going to get sunfish, and you're not going to get a lot of them on set lines and crappies. You got to have that movement, that jiggling little jig down there with a waxworm or a little piece of gulp on it. Something with some scent that's going to kind of draw them in a little bit, and they're going to keep their mouth on it when they do decide to come up and eat it. There he is again. Rock bass. That's a bonus fish there. Don't get too many of them in the winter. What I've got on, what I switched to here, this is a little rat fink jig, and it's just a tiny little jig. It's a 64th ounce head on it with a little glow piece of plastic right here, and then a couple wax worms. And I've got it rigged up on 4-pound test, and this is a very light jig. You can see I got to help my line down. It won't even pull the line out of my reel. But sometimes that's what it takes. You got to get really light and just take that little extra second just to get it down there, because that's what they want to eat. That's what they're going after. That's what's the closest to what they're eating off the bottom of the lake. Most of the time, if you can keep a couple, 1 or 2 in your hole, once you get your lure down there, there'll be some more that'll come in after him. There he's coming. That spring bobber, though, is so important for these fish. They're so light. See that one? You'll pull it right out of their mouth if you try to feel for them with just your rod tip. There he's coming up. We got a couple more down here. I think they might have stripped the bait off. Most of the time when you get a school of fish like that down there, the higher fish are going to be your more active fish. That's not always the case, but that is general rule of thumb. Another nice crappie. Another good little one to take home. But a key part of this too is also fresh bait. As much and as often as you can, put fresh bait on. Kind of let the fish tell you how far to load up your lure. If you need to put 3 or 4 waxies on there, or 1, or gulp, or whatever you're using. The fish will kind of tell you. If they come in, they run up to it, but they're not eating it, try going a little bit less. Especially when you get in cold front days or days where fish aren't moving that great. Just had some come in. When they come in like that, you gotta be ready. I had my ripping wrap down attracting them in, and they came in like a herd of elephants. Let's see if we can get them to go here. And they're gone. Just like that, that's all it takes. You got to be ready to go. You got to have your rods laying next to you, your bait cups open, and just be ready to go, because these fish are here and they're gone as fast as they come in. So use the tips and tricks from today's show, and it'll put more panfish on the ice for you. Have a good one, guys. We'll see you next week.